So now I want you to understand why God is our Alleluia, our ally. It's because if you compare us in Kenya here, look, I'm not like Chagwa talking about Kenya, not even in Kenya. I'm not even talking about Africa. I'm talking about all those who believe in God being a one united force against the devil, against the killing of people in the so-called democracy that they call democracy. If they come together, they will defeat it. But over America's dead body. Because America is an instrument of democracy. And that's why God comes in. And God does says what will happen. In chapter, you see, and that is why the Muslims are told, read also the Bible. So that if you don't, look, my dear Muslims, if you're not my follower, if you don't come to join me in the government that I'm calling to you, it means you're not following the Quran. Because it's the Quran which says, at Surah An-Nisa, that is chapter 4, verse 136, that read this Quran, which was brought by the Prophet of Allah. And the keyword and the scriptures. So if you're not reading the scriptures, I'm telling you what it says, so that you join me in this government. What will happen? Definitely, America will come and overthrow us, even kill us. And that's why we are underground. I have come up because I've passed now 94 years. Now I'm 95 years. If I'm 95 years, what are you killing? A dead person already? That's how I am coming up. Otherwise, all the time we have been underground. All those guys, my followers, underground. That is what it means to be discreet. You are a slave of God, but discreet, meaning you are underground, teaching the Bible and the Quran. Because the moment you come up and you show yourselves in Kenya, definitely America will come for you. So Kenya and America is like a chick and a hawk. There is no comparison. America will finish us. That's what the Bible says they will try to do. However, God says what He will do to America. Look, read, my fellow Muslim, because I assume the Christian has already done so. Daniel chapter 7 and verse 20, it says, I saw the God of heavens sit on His judgment seat, and He judged. And the people of God were found to be in His favor. And so He took the beast. In other words, America, my friends, you are being called beasts by God, was taken and hurled into a lake of fire. You cannot know what that lake of fire is. It is the nuclear bomb, brother. It is the nuclear bomb. When you discover that China has discovered that you are planning to neutralize China with a preemptive strike of the very heavy nuclear bomb you have made, China will try to preempt that your planned preemptive strike and strike you to the finish, America. You will not be seen. You will be hurled into the lake of fire. China not knowing or being made not to remember that you, America, are more strong in the ocean than on land, with so many aircraft carriers and nuclear submarines. You will put all your arsenal into China, and it will happen what is written in Joel chapter 2. That I see so many people are people that have never been seen in this world, and they are no more. That is China. We have never seen in the world a people like China being ruled by one person over 1 billion people. That is happening in China. You will be destroyed by America so that you destroy one another using nuclear bomb. For Europe, already you have got the one from my friend of Russia, President Putin. Yeah, we call him President Putin. We call it President Putin. He'll put into you the nuclear bomb that he has. And you'll be wiped out. And you will also wipe out Europe. So that what remains is we here in Africa. It is we here in Africa. That is how we shall inherit this world. And it confirms again what God says in Daniel chapter 2 verse 44. That in the days of those kings, which kings? Which kings? If you read Daniel chapter 2 verse 43, it says what kind of kings? It is those kings who are trying to march together. You find this community is circumcising, and this community is not circumcising, and they are trying to form a government together. And now, chapter 2, verse 43 is the one saying what kind of government. Then verse 44 says, in those days of those kings of the Luo trying to form a government with the Kalejik, who are very strict in circumcising, by the way. That day, this is the time, the God of heavens will set up a government. And this is the government I'm calling you to. It is the government of God. I'm talking about God. I've come to you with the Bible and the Quran. You will set up a government. This is the government of God for the people of God. We should crush and put to an end all these other governments, and it itself shall stand to time indefinite. I'm just telling you what the Bible says. And let me tell you what Mogoa Kefiro said about the Gen Z. Ask the Kikuyu. Ask them. Mogoa Kefiro said like this. When that heckle, the house which has 8 doors, and I called the administration of Yeta Bushi to count those doors. They are 8 in number. When it shall be built, they say, oh, no. It should be the Longori Kia Wairera. Wairera in Kikuyu means an airman. Hey, your grandfather one day, hey, I'll come with evidence. In America, I flew an aeroplane. So that, and I have, that place is in a big place. So you are seeing revelations coming into his head. But you are unbeliever because you don't believe it. But Mugwakefia said, when that 8-door Gizra will be constructed, I have constructed, and get finished. Well, I have not finished, but there's some money now coming from America, and I get hold of that money, and another one having won a certain court case, and I get hold of that money. Then I'll finish that one. the Gizra, the heart of 8 doors. You can come and visit it. He says, when it is finished, then the young men will sit the elders on thrones. In Kikuyu, it is Shodamaki, the seat of those who are ruling. Look, that is what Mugwakefiro said. And I'm telling you, this is what also the Isaiah says. And I'll read it to you on some other time. That there will be constructed a heckle as a sign. That heckle is a sign that this world has come to an end. Has come to an end. Mugwakefiro told the Kikuyu people, don't fight the red man. Because fighting him is to give him the opportunity to use his wisdom to fight you and therefore annihilate you with his wisdom. So he gave the Kikuyu a shield with which to ward off the wisdom of the white man. What shield? To refrain from fighting the white man. And I told you in another video that don't look at whiteness. Jonjo was a black man, but we used to call him a white man. Ruto therefore should be seen as a white man. Whatever he has, the money in dollars, are made in America. His helicopter gunships are made in America. He's a white man. Don't give him the chance to destroy you, my Gen Z. Mugwakefiro said, you will not wait for long. before you see the white man destroying himself with his knowledge. You know, if I interpret in the Kikuyu, it says, his wisdom will strike a rock. His wisdom will head against a rock, so that he annihilates himself with his wisdom, which wisdom we now know it is making the nuclear bomb. Like Trump is now making a very huge and destructive bomb to use it on China. He'll be annihilated also with the nuclear bomb. Why? Because there is that principle of Isa bin Maryam, as you call him Jesus, that those who live with a sword will perish with a sword. America is using his nuclear power to cousin, remember the word I gave you, to cousin democracy. He will be annihilated by the nuclear bomb. As we watch here in Kenya, just like our forefathers, remember I told you that the Kikuyu are the pedigree Israeli. As when our forefathers, the Israelites, saw with their own eyes Pharaoh, putting himself into the Red Sea, imagining that he was following our forefathers, he actually threw himself and drowned in the Red Sea, as our forefathers watched. Also we shall watch the red man actually getting into the lake of fire, that this world will have been made by the nuclear bombs they are making. As we watch, they will annihilate themselves. Then what kind of government are you going to use after the demise of this Red Sea? It is not democracy, my friends. It is the government by God which I'm calling you to today to give me support. And I told you, look for me, for I am Luo man. We want to use the Luo as our two horns. One horn is to destroy, dismantle is the word. Dismantle Ruto's government. If you do not like it, then support that one. And also to finish the Kikuyu, the remaining of them. Because they have left following after their God, because of their great work, to take care of their great work. Well, they were supposed to be Levites, like we are Muslim Levites. Okay, let me come next time with the evidence of how Gachagua tried to kill Ruto. I'll bring you the evidence. And therefore, when Ruto kills now all his men, Ruto must not even know. Those people who love Ruto will go and get Gachagua, and you people say, oh, Ruto is that, Ruto is that. It doesn't have to be. And that's why I say, I've washed my hands of the blood of Gachagua. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.